Since entering into the league in 2018, Baker Mayfield has been a very polarizing player. Those who love him just absolutely adore him and his talent, and those who don't like him aren't impressed by anything that he does and point to his lack of contribution to winning as the main reason as to why they don't like him. In his first few years, you could say the instability of the Browns organization kind of ruined any chance of him winning games. But this year, the Browns have a pretty solid roster, and there hasn't been any of that turmoil and instability that we kind of grew accustomed to for the Browns. But even with that, the Browns are still 3-3. So, Brandon, are there more factors at play for the Browns, or is Baker just not the real deal?
Of course, Baker's not the real deal. Has anybody watched him play? If he can't hand the ball off 75% of the time, he'll lose. He's the ultimate front runner. Maybe I should backtrack this. I hate Baker Mayfield with a passion. He is the ultimate front runner. When he's winning, he walks around chin up, all smug, real prick. And then when he's losing, he just doesn't address anybody. He doesn't have like the poise to accept a loss. The guy walks around like he's got a Tom Brady resume, like he owns the NFL, except he hasn't done shit. So I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like the fact that he front runs, even though he'd be nothing without Chubb. And I mean, you've got an elite defense that you basically just have to game manage your way through the season because of how stacked your team is. And he can't even do that right. So I don't know. I don't like Baker. I don't think he's the real deal. I don't think he's going to make the kind of money he's expecting.
So what you're saying is Baker can't win without a full Chubb.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Jen, how do you feel about Baker? Are you on the same side as Brandon, or do you love yourself some Mayfield?
No, no. I think he got his ass way over his head. I mean, just look at the commercials that he done for Progressive. Strolling around in that stadium, looking like absolute garbage. He might have ate too many of that dog food that he's trying to promote the entire time. So that he just seems like he's not the quarterback that the Browns should be building a roster around. I mean, yeah, he plays well, but yeah, also he sucks at the same time. Again, without a full Chubb, he can't do anything. He literally cannot win games. His decision making is absolutely terrible. I think what the Browns might do is, franchise tag him this year, see how he does for next year, and if he doesn't do well, they'll just cut him, um, and then they'll find another player. I mean, what my Browns might do is they might suck again until they can get the number one over pick. In 2027, when they can get Archie Manning in the house.
Brandon, do you think that the Browns give Baker another year, or do you think they'll try to move on from him if they have another lackluster finish to the year?
They'll probably tag him. They will
Yeah.
most likely tag them. You'll probably see more of a Dak similar situation, like the way it played out. Um, I I'm not comparing the two. I think Dak well deserved what he got. I just don't think Baker is. I don't think Baker is what he believes he is. I believe he thinks he's the best draft pick of the last couple of years, and everybody else keeps proving him wrong.
It could be a huge hypothetical. Let's say the Bucks do not go to the Super Bowl this year, and you think there might be some odd way that TB12 goes into the Cleveland, and they'll swap quarterbacks. That's something that I would love to see. To see Tom Brady on the third team against in the Browns, with all their offensive players. Wonder how that's going to work. I mean, OBJ might be in Tom's doghouse for the rest of the year after that, but hey, at least they'll get some rings out of it.
So what you're saying is it wasn't enough for Tom Brady to leave and go win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. he also has to go back to the first team that Belichick was a head coach for and win with that team when Bill couldn't. Also, that's what we have to do. We've got to go like full on revenge.
At this point, TB12 might as well sign for another 40 years and play for another 40 years for every single NFL team. So that
Exactly.
way he has more rings than his toes and his fingers have to
Yeah.
combine.
Yeah. It's the only logical thing to do at this point. If you're gonna play till 44, you might as well just like go everywhere else now. Like I assume you like just play for as many teams as you can, win as many championships, and that way you can say, by the time you retire at 65, you've brought a championship to half the league. Wouldn't that be fun, Tom? Huh?